These very fine models were revealed last year at the show. Union Pacific 844, I believe that's at a museum in, I want to say, Nevada. These are wonderful models. Last year we just had artwork and like pre-production photos. Now we have the real thing sitting right here in front of us, including the GP30B unit. First time mass produced. So that's cool. ScaleTrains still getting set up. Can't wait to see their full display. Try not to fanboy here with Drayton from Delay and Block, but we're at ScaleTrains. So Drayton, what do you do at ScaleTrains for those wondering?
So I am a brand marketer. I do a lot of copywriting for ScaleTrains. So whenever you get your ScaleTrains box, the bullet points on the back of the box, I go through and I modify them for packaging. I work on also the manuals, basically the newsletter, anything that you see in writing from ScaleTrains that's published. I do a lot of the writing. I also help with video production and involved with selling and marketing model trains.
With ScaleTrains, I've noticed you do a lot with like interacting with the community and those videos. So who came up with that idea, and how do you keep that going with that kind of interaction?
Yeah, so well, to answer your question, one thing I want to say about the model railroad industry that folks who don't work in the model industry might not know is that we do have fun jobs, but it is a lot of work. Like the amount of time and effort that I can speak for ScaleTrains that we go through from the time a model is announced to when it's delivered, it can be anywhere from 3 years once the concept is created, and then when our product development team says, hey, we're ready to make this announcement, here's the information for it. It's about 6 months before we're actually ready to make the announcement. So within that 6 months, that's when my job kind of comes into play. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of organization, a lot of keeping track of things. You know, when we make new announcements, we come out with so many different paint schemes and road numbers and things like that. So it's hard to keep track of that. But kind of going along with your second question, the video side of things, we really like to try to tell a story. Storytelling is a really big thing to us. It really kind of goes all the way back to the beginning of ScaleTrains. There's a really cool documentary. It's called ScaleTrains Big Dreams. It was done by Trainmasters TV when the company was first started back in 2015. That's actually going to be out on our YouTube channel pretty soon, so I'm really excited about that. But that kind of all started with Shane. Shane really wanted to connect with customers in a way that had never been done before. Because we're modelers too. We get excited about model trains just like our customers do. So really kind of began with Shane, and we're expanding upon that. We're going to have an in-house studio pretty soon to do videos and live streams and things like that. Maybe even a ScaleTrains podcast. We'll see. So I'm pretty excited about that too.
All right, that's an awesome story, and I think, I can't speak because I don't really know, but I think that may have helped project ScaleTrains into this place you're at now, and you're in a really good place. There's lots of great models, and I noticed one other little thing I'm wondering about is you do a lot of the Class 1 road names. Is there any chance of more like regionalized and like short line road names on some of these models, like the GP30?
Well, we were actually talking about this morning over breakfast, and how a lot of the older locomotives today aren't on the Class 1s because of PSR and standardization and things like that. So we've talked about how we need to start documenting short lines and regionals more. I think that over the next probably 3 or 4 years, you'll start to see more non-Class 1 railroads, like on SD40-2s or even like the tunnel motors, because we're getting to the point where it's like we've done multiple runs of Southern Pacific, Union Pacific, things like that. So over time, I know that I'm a Genesee and Wyoming fan, so hopefully we can get some orange on some of our SD40-2s. We'll see. We might even be able to do G&W -9s now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've got some -9s. So we'll see what happens, but I would say, yeah, you can probably expect to see some more short lines and regionals over time.
My little thing I have to say is, for the GP30, if you do a Reading and Northern, you'll sell a whole bunch because those things are popular.
Well, I'll say this too. We get so many requests for Reading and Northern, and also I think they have some Admiral Cab SD40-2s. So we've looked into maybe doing Reading and Northern Admiral Cab SD40-2s. So we'll see, but I think that would be a great short line candidate for sure.
It's very popular with all over the country, and but getting back to you with Delay and Block, anything coming in 2023 for Delay and Block?
Well, as far as my YouTube channel goes, I've got a lot of older videos coming out, like Ed Painter series videos. Ed Painter's a friend of mine, and back in the 90s, he spent hundreds of hours trackside all over the country, and he was like, hey, I've got all these old VHS tapes. I want to convert them. Would you do that? And I was like, yeah, why don't we turn it into a YouTube series? So I've got more of those videos coming out. I have a CNOTP series that I'm working on right now, which I'm really excited about. So, and hopefully some more live streams. I'm hoping that I can do a 10-year anniversary meet and greet type thing. So maybe even can combine that with the ScaleTrains road trip. So we'll see what happens.
That sounds awesome. And, I'm geographically quite far from your area, but your videos are so good, I can't help but watch every single one. So great meeting you here at the show. And
nice to meet you, too, man. I like your videos, too, and appreciate all the nice comments that you leave.
Thank you. And is this your first time at the show?
This is my second Amherst show, and it's kind of funny because last time that I was here, the atmosphere was totally different. It was right before COVID hit here in the United States. And I remember one of the guys next to our booth back in 2020 had some TVs, and they were watching these videos of these hospitals being built in China in like a week's time. And we were like, man, this is kind of scary. Like, what is this, disease that's coming our way? And also Kobe Bryant died that weekend of Amherst, and so it was just really a weird weekend. But today it's totally different environment. People are really happy and really excited to be here. It's so nice to be able to attend train shows. I haven't been. This is my first train show. Actually, this is my second train show, but I hadn't been to a train show in almost 3 years, so I'm really glad to be here.
I think 2023 is a comeback year for train shows. So, Drayton, thanks for talking.
Yeah,
we'll let you get back to what you're doing here.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking.
Sounds good.
You didn't ask for them, but you got them.
Yay!
All right, so I've been told you know a thing or two about GEVOs.
Well, I'd like to think so.
This is his mic, Mike.
Okay.
So, I've been at the show all day. I've been busy, and I've been completely oblivious to the dozens of new product announcements everyone's been making. So, what's new with this GEVO here?
Well, we got new road names. We're doing now the balance of the Norfolk Southern units, and so we've got Conrail as being one of them, and I know that's popular up in this part of the country. One of the things about our GEVOs that makes them different than other ones is we're actually doing the PTC arrangements on the roof. Everybody else's GEVOs that have been done previously have been done without these. They weren't originally delivered with PTC, and they were retrofitted later. And so we're adding that detail, which makes our models unique.
All right, that's pretty cool, and the paint job looks super sharp. Anything else you want to share about the process of the GEVO development?
Well, the one challenge about GEVOs is there are more variations and details than any other locomotive that we've ever worked on. I've got a spreadsheet that's 60 columns wide, listing all of the things that change in GEVOs from the early production to the latest productions. And so keeping track of that becomes a real challenge as we're building models when we build them to the level that we're after.
All right, well, thanks for sharing. And anything else you want to add?
Ask him about Mexican GEVOs.
Okay, I'm supposed to ask you about Mexican GEVOs.
Okay.
Ask him about how he got involved in Mexico and all the awesome people in Mexico that helped us do the research.
So we were the first American manufacturer to actually attend a model train show in Mexico. While we were down there, we actually met a lot of really nice people that helped us out, and we were actually able to get color chips for some of the new Mexican-style GEVOs that are being made. And so we actually got an opportunity to really be able to do some high-class models for them as well.
All right, that's pretty neat. You don't hear about a lot about Mexican model railroading and railroading stuff, so that's pretty neat to hear. Anything else we should ask him, Drayton?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a good Mike question. Mike, what is something about product development that most people don't understand?
It's far more challenging than anybody thinks. You know, every modeler expects us to know everything that they know about whatever railroad time frame that they're interested in, and it's impossible for us to be able to know everything for every railroad. And so we got a lot of sources, a lot of people on the outside that help us supply information, because it's challenging to be able to keep up with all that's happening.
I got one more from Mr. Hopkin. What is your favorite part about train shows?
Standing on my feet for 16 hours straight.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it here. I am. Well, to put it lightly, I'm ready to drop.
Yeah, you and me both.
Love you, Mike.
Thanks.
Special thanks to Drayton for making this interview possible. In other words, forcing this guy up here to talk about his favorite subject.
All right.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
New S-Scale. That is awesome. And the new coil cars.
When I was, when I got this when I was young, that's how the way it was.